Hello and welcome to my channel. I haven't been doing too much interesting with my car lately, but a fun story kind of came across my mind recently and I figured I'd share it with you. Welcome back and thanks for being here. I have not been doing much with my car. I almost feel like I'm out of ideas and things to share here on the channel, but something will happen. It's been kind of hot lately. It was 95 today, and yeah, I'm not getting outside and working on the car and this kind of stuff. But recently my daughter spent some time at home, and I was reminded of sort of a fun story that involves her a little bit. And this story goes back to the year 2000. So I have to kind of set it up for you a little bit because things were different in 2000 than they are now. Two things you need to keep in mind about the year 2000. First, internet access. A lot of people, myself included, were still using dial-up. And if you don't know what dial-up is, go look it up. It's slow. It's only 56K. Slow. It's really slow, but especially by today's standards. And so even at my office, we only had dial-up. And so we would basically just sign in, check our mail, and then get out. There wasn't really a whole lot of internet browsing there. Everything internet related was a big hassle back in those days. And then at home, I had dial-up at home as well. And so, you know, internet discussion forums are way different. Posting a picture, it might be, what was it called? VGA, I think is what that size is called. Basically, it's 640 by 480 pixels, if you can even imagine an image that tiny. So internet access, slow. And then the other thing that was different in the year 2000 was synthetic motor oils were still kind of new. And what I mean by that was, for example, this is in TDIclub.com. And the TDI, which is Volkswagen's turbo diesel, had only been in America for about 5 years at that point, maybe just 4. And the second gen TDI had just been introduced in the US. The first iteration of the 1.8T was also introduced around the same time. And I don't remember if it was right away or if it was in 2000. Maybe it wasn't until 2001. Volkswagen started requiring synthetic oils in their turbocharged cars. So both in the 1.8T, I don't remember what kind of oil was specified in that, but in the TDI, they wanted the CH4, CF4 rated oils. And the early ALH and definitely the AHU, which is the first gen TDI engine, they were kind of in an iffy area, right? My owner's manual did not specify synthetic motor oils, but there was a huge debate about using them on our cars. If you're following my channel, odds are fair that you are a Volkswagen enthusiast, and since nearly everything that Volkswagen has to offer today is turbocharged, odds are very good that you are using synthetic motor oil already. But back in 2000, synthetics were not common. Maybe performance drivers were using it. Maybe some prissy folks were using it. Most people were still using conventional motor oil. And so you have to imagine then that in a discussion forum, synthetic oil and its use was, it was as hotly debated as some of the very feverish topics that we might see in internet discussion forums today. Social media, everything that you can think of that is heated and ugly, that was synthetic motor oil in internet discussion forums back in the day, in automotive discussion forums, I should say. Also in 2000, I was a new father, and that's what this story is kind of about. In order for me to be able to go do car things, the only way I could really do it and maintain peace in the house was, you know, Mama was tired, and so I needed to give her a break. So I would take my daughter with me if I wanted to go for a drive, or maybe take her to an event or something like that. That was how I did it. I would take her with me. The wife got some time to herself and got to relax a little bit, and then yeah, I took my daughter with me. Same thing if I was working on the car. I might take her outside and just have her out there with me while I'm working on the car. And so I had purchased a little TDIclub.com onesie for my daughter. Actually, I had it custom made in my own little cafe press store. And so I put her in that, and then what I wanted to do was pose her with the engine so that she looked like she was helping me change the oil. Here's a picture that I took of her later in life where she really was helping and doing the job, but at the time she was too little. She couldn't sit up on her own, and so I had taken her car seat and put it in the engine bay, and I couldn't get a good picture of it. So what I did is I decided to just make it a picture of her holding a little, like a 7mm wrench and an oil filter. This oil filter was just completely huge in her lap. And then to add a little bit of authenticity, I got my hands on some watercolors, licked my thumb, and then dragged it into black paint, and then I rubbed some of that paint into her hands. Watercolors, mind you, right? A little into her hand, I'll put a little smudge on her forehead, and of course I didn't tell anybody on the internet about that part. I just did it and took the pictures. And all of the while I'm doing this, I had no idea that she was going to eventually grow up to help me more with my car, and then eventually become a mechanic herself. And I certainly didn't expect that she'd become a Marine. So that's what she does now. So anyway, I posted the picture. Check out this TDIclub.com onesie I had made for my daughter. She's helping Daddy change the oil. Proud daddy moment, right? This was sometime in the evening, I guess. The next morning, I get up and I check on the post, and the first post was like, "Oh my God, please tell me that that's not real oil on that baby." People just jumped in there like, "Oh my God, you're right. Look at that. I can't believe that's on her." Man, the OP needs to explain this. Like I owe anybody an explanation, right? And so I got up the following morning. I used to get up like 4 o'clock in the morning. Saw that, and I replied, mind you, synthetic motor oil war is raging on. So I said, "Oh guys, don't worry, you're really overreacting. I use only 100% synthetic motor oil, and tests on laboratory animals has indicated that it is completely harmless." Send, and I went to work. Now my commute to work was 54 miles each way through the nothingness that is the White Sands Missile Range. I worked in El Paso, and I lived at the missile range at the time. And so, and then internet access, I just logged in to do my work, check my mail, and then get out. So we did not spend any time on the internet at work. And so basically from about 5 a.m. until I got home around 6, that was how long. I had no idea the firestorm that I had started. And usually when it comes to fun office debates, I was the type of person that would, it's kind of like taking a grenade and throwing it in a small room and shut the door and leave. That was me. I would drop some sort of truth bomb on someone and then leave and listen, and then they'd all be arguing in the room, and then I wouldn't even be in there. They'd all just be in there fighting, and it's kind of fun. Well, I didn't realize that I had done that. So my thought was I'm going to ruffle some feathers, but I had no idea I was going to light the place on fire. And oh yeah, you can just imagine. I can't think of any of the comments that were made, but oh man, the whole synthetic versus conventional oil thing, the baby, the oil, I can't believe you've done this. This is so abusive, and blah, 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 blah. It was hilarious and scary at the same time, because I was waiting for some wannabe copish person to call the Child Protective Services, you bad man. So yeah, I did explain, "Oh come on guys, give me a break, it's watercolors." And so that's my story about stirring things. I like to stir the pot sometimes, and you might not see that so much here on my channel, because I kind of hold back a little bit here. I try to be nice to everybody. All right, so I don't want to keep on droning on too much about this story. I just wanted to share something with you real quick. I have 2 ideas. I feel like I'm out of ideas for my channel, but I did recently get my hands on what's known as an AA wireless device. It allows me to do Android Auto wirelessly to my head unit. So I will share that with you here pretty soon. And by doing that, it gave me a need for something else, or a want for something else. And so I will share that soon too. So feel free to post comments below. I would have loved to have shared snapshots of this argument with you, but I can't find them anywhere. Not even in the Wayback Archive. Wayback Archive, I think is what it's called. But yeah, I can't share any of that stuff, but yeah, fun times, fun times. So all right, thanks for joining me. I'll see you soon. Take care.